Hello and welcome to the JavaScript and React Native Crash Course. I'm Gabriel Solis and I'll be your instructor for this course. So to let you know a little bit about this course, it's just a quick overview of these technologies. We're not going super duper in depth, although we will be going over a lot of the tools that you'll find useful while working in JavaScript and React Native. It's designed for absolute beginners, so you don't have to know anything about JavaScript coming in. The only thing you need is a willingness to learn. And you can skip around, but if you're a beginner, you should follow along. If you're not a beginner and you already know some of this stuff, there should be a the chapter feature on YouTube enabled so that you can click the chapter heading at the bottom of the viewport and select an alternate chapter in the video to skip around to the parts that you need. Now, what is JavaScript? So JavaScript is the programming language of the web. It's used alongside HTML and CSS in web pages, where HTML is what's called a markup language that kind of dictates how the page is structured, and CSS dictates how the page appears and how that structure is styled. JavaScript is used primarily for the page's functionality, so say if you click a button, that's probably calling some JavaScript to perform whatever action that button is supposed to do. React Native is a framework that's used to create cross-platform mobile apps, very much with the philosophy of build once, deploy anywhere. It's not the only framework that does this, but it is the one that we are going to be using for this project and in this course. So React Native is built on Node.js, which uses JavaScript, hence why we are learning JavaScript first. And now a quick note before we get into things. You're going to want to know about documentation, what it is and where to find it. So documentation is super critical for programmers as a tool to help you know what it is that you're working with as you're working. So in the case of JavaScript, you're not going to know every built-in class or function, all of that off the top of your head. That's just not something that people do. Like, people don't memorize the entire thing. So don't worry about remembering everything, because you can always go to MDN Web Docs here at Mozilla, and there'll be links down in the description for both of these. But you go to MDN Web Docs if you want a reference for JavaScript, and if you go to reactnative.dev, you can find their website and a link to their docs page.